2020 continues. Once again, Barbara Walters.
Actress Patty Duke has made no secret of her desperate battle with mental illness and even suicide attempts. But tonight, for the first time, you will hear from two people who suffered through her ordeal as well. They are her two sons, Sean Astin, who stars in the epic Lord of the Rings movies, and his younger brother, Mackenzie. Maybe it's not surprising that both are actors, but it is remarkable that they are also loyal and loving sons after what they've lived through as children. You'll hear their intimate family story now as mother and sons talk candidly with Deborah Roberts about surviving, forgiving, and moving forward together.
I wonder if we'll ever be put into songs or tales. What?
Millions got to know him as Samwise, the loyal sidekick of Frodo in the Lord of the Rings blockbuster trilogy.
You've left out one of the chief characters, Samwise the Brave.
Sean Astin took on the heart and soul of the story and stole the show.
Come on, Mr. Frodo. I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you. Come on!
It's a great role to play because Sam is the essence of loyalty and bravery and honesty and decency and goodness.
No excuses! Do the work!
They're characteristics common to the 33-year-old actor's most celebrated parts, like Rudy, the determined underdog who persevered against all odds. In the same stout-hearted role he often took on in his own family drama.
For a long time, I felt like I was the, that I was the Secretary General of the United Nations of our sort of Ungapachi mismatched sort of family.
Mom of that family is show business legend Patty Duke. As a child actress, she made an indelible impression as the blind, deaf, and mute Helen Keller in the movie The Miracle Worker.
Papa! She knows!
At 16, she became the youngest actress up until that time to win an Oscar.
What a crazy pair!
Then came The Patty Duke Show.
Identical cousins all the way.
Sean's dad, John Astin, is a television icon too, best known as Gomez, the patriarch of a family of a very different sort. Younger brother Mackenzie was born when Sean was 2 and would spend his adolescence learning the facts of life. As you'll see, life in this Hollywood household was hardly a sitcom, but nothing ever got in the way of this mother's pride.
You're looking at Sean now not only as a son, but as an accomplished actor. I mean,
as a great big movie star.
What is it like, though, seeing him as such an amazing, hot actor?
When he first comes on the screen, it's the mother who's proud. You know, it's as if, oh, I did that. But then I get involved in his performances, and he moves me. But the most important thing is that he is, at the core, the decent, generous, loving, respectful man that I hoped he would be.
That may be the biggest miracle of all, since Sean and his brother Mac grew up in the shadow of their mother's undiagnosed mental illness. Patty Duke first spoke to 2020's Hugh Downs in 1989 about her manic depression and suicide attempts.
I did it a lot of times, and usually came after some sort of argument that I had begun either with my husband or children, and my behavior would be so angry and so vicious that I then couldn't live with that guilt, and they were better off without me.
Now, 15 years later, she still talks about the frightening moments that led to that regret.
When Mom's behavior would start to get a little bizarre, say in a manic phase, it was going to get loud and it was going to get mean, and I would go to the part of them that I could make suffer the most.
Though she's been brutally honest about her mental illness before, Patty Duke's children are now talking for the first time about how it was to be in their shoes.
Yeah, there was plenty of stuff that was mortifying, horrifying, and to be exposed to something that is not in control is as scary as, being in battle.
But it was Sean, the older, more resilient child, who was most often the target of their mother's manic rages, though today he recalls the stories with humor.
I was working on this model airplane, this incredible wingspan, it was a glider. I remember cleaning my room up so everything was perfect, and I could hear the sound of Mom sort of going through the hallways like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. And she came in with this glass of water and looked around the room, instantly surveyed that I cleaned it, was perfect. And she's like, "Oh, great, you're effing perfect, aren't you?" And throws the water in my face. And then she destroyed the model.
Oh, God.
I never know when you're telling the truth anymore.
And as if home wasn't nightmarish enough, Patty and Sean played mother and son in a fictional version of an even more violent life. It was his acting debut. He was now repeating the same sort of childhood his mother had endured, one marred by mental illness. Patty's alcoholic father deserted the family when she was 7, and her mother struggled with undiagnosed depression. When Patty grew up and gave birth to Sean in 1971, she vowed not to pass on the pain.
We made silent deals with each other about what we'd do for each other.
What kind of deals?
That I'd always tell him the truth, that I would do my best never to hurt him the way I had been hurt, and look what happened. Years later, because of that illness, I did exactly what I had promised that little baby in the bassinet I would never do.
Patty was finally diagnosed with manic depression at age 35, the same year she and John Astin separated. Since then, she's been successfully treated with lithium. And with her tell-all biography and television appearances in the late 80s, Patty began the long process of making amends.
The toughest was feeling that I could ever be trusted again, specifically by my children, for having attempted suicide. In their presence, these children went through utter hell.
Today, it's hard to imagine how mother and sons have any relationship at all. But Sean and Mac were 11 and 9 when their mother was diagnosed, so they've also lived through the years of recovery and reconciliation. And both insist that the bad times made them stronger.
Yeah, there were times that were hard. There were times that were where there was fear. But I almost felt as though at all the really scary moments that you have as a kid, I almost felt this sense of calm and peace at those moments.
Calm and peace when there was turmoil going on in the house?
Yeah, a little bit. It was almost like she was testing me to see if I would break.
How does a child come out of an experience like that, though, so centered? I mean, there are children who are just ripped, they're people, adults, who are ripped apart by childhood memories.
Well, that's my point. This woman is a powerful, strong woman who wanted us to grow up independent and confident and strong. And that was 99% of the time. And 1% of the time
there was also a father who dedicated himself to diffusing situations and reassuring these young men.
So he pulled it all together.
Well,
John.
no, there's something in me. I take credit for this. I take credit for my strength and my maturity at that age. Because you know what? My proclivity was to trust that everything was going to be all right.
But when Sean was 14, another betrayal. His mother revealed that John Astin was not his biological father. He'd actually been born to a single Patty Duke amid scandal. Tabloid headlines claimed the unmarried 23-year-old star was carrying the love child of her 17-year-old boyfriend, Desi Arnaz Jr., and that his mother, Lucille Ball, was aghast.
It was a horror.
Gee, thanks.
But that was a stigma at that point.
It was a stigma.
And your fame didn't shield you from the shame and the embarrassment?
No. Remember, I was little Patty Duke, who came into the living rooms on Wednesday nights.
Who was sweet and chaste.
That's right.
So when a stranger named Michael Tell came to sublet her apartment and offered to marry the pregnant Patty Duke, She agreed.
Within 3 hours, we were in Las Vegas in front of a preacher.
The marriage to Michael Tell lasted 13 days and ended long before Sean was born. But Tell would resurface when Sean was 26. Someone suggested that his biological father wasn't Desi Arnaz Jr. either, but a man he'd never even heard about. So Sean set out to find his own truth, this time based on blood tests, which would offer a surprising outcome.
You know, Desi Arnaz Jr. loves me, and I love him. We are so close. Science tells me, to a genetic and blood standard, that he's not my biological father. Science tells me that Mike Tell is. He's a good man. I love him. He loves me.
In fact, Sean Astin calls 4 people Dad.
I can call any of them on the phone anytime I want to. Anytime I want to. All 4 of them. John, Desi, Mike, or Papa Mike, her husband. My 4 dads. The truth shall set me free. It did. It was an incredible touchstone for me.
But not for his mother, who continues to believe that Desi Arnaz Jr. is Sean's biological father, in spite of the blood tests. So mother and son have agreed to disagree, and somehow their complex family seems closer than ever.
I think how we have survived it is that we are people who believe in forgiveness and moving on.
Do you forgive her, Sean?
Oh, I didn't think there was anything that much to forgive, except, I mean, not to me.
The old stuff, yeah, forgiven. Forgiven?
I'll take it either way.
Forgived. Forgone.
Have you forgiven yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Took a long time. Took a very long time. I am able to see, hear, and smell so much more than when I carried around that I hate you, you're mean, you're this, you're that.
And Patty Duke's boys have grown into strong, loving men any mother would wish for. Mac, who's now engaged, is an actor. And Sean, father of 2 daughters, has been married to Christine for 12 years. His own Hollywood memoir will hit bookstores in the fall.
You inherited your mother's talent, acting talent, obviously.
Thank you.
Are you at all worried that your greatest inheritance from your mom could be mental illness?
My wife and I talk about that a lot. I mean, I think we have a level of awareness. So I at least have the benefit of a lot of thinking about it. But I'm surrounded by people who love me, and I have a certain amount of self-awareness. So if I start getting a little loopy, you know, they'll ring me in.
Patty Duke and her sons may be the ultimate showbiz family, but in the end, not so different from many others, with fights and forgiveness, illness and health, and ultimately enough love to survive it all.
What do you love most about your mother?
Well, I'll tell you what I love. I know exactly what I love about my mother. Put this down. Okay. What I love the most about my mother is that she's a survivor. She wants to live. She's here, you know, because she wants to be. It's a good thing.
When 2020 returns, Ladies' Night. Enjoy it now, because it's going the way of the 5-cent beer.
But the women like it, and the bars like it, and the men like it.
But the mere fact that somebody's making a buck off it is not justification for discrimination.
Next.
The man on the left ordered a delicious chicken dinner from a casual dining restaurant. The woman on the right went to KFC and got the same quality meal for $4. Sadly, the casual dining meal cost $8.
I only brought $4.
Oh, that's not good. $4 meals from KFC. Choose from 3 freshly cooked meals, a 3-strip meal, a 2-piece meal, or a breast meal, each with 2 delicious homestyle sides and a freshly baked biscuit for only $4.
Don't forget the tip.
Quality meals at half the price of casual dining restaurants. $4 meals only at KFC.
What do you love about Ziploc?
This container from Ziploc is really different. I can easily close the lid with one finger.
I can't do that with this Gladware.
Now that's a tight Ziploc seal.
The Ziploc container, designed with you in mind.
Can you believe these guys? They actually think this is hard. They should try racing with a mouthful of pool water. I'm just kidding, guys. Wish us luck.
At Sprint stores now, get Sprint PCS Vision picture phones starting at $49.99. Sprint PCS, now that's better.
Hurry up, you don't want to miss the bus. And I don't want to miss Kohl's busload of savings sale.
Catch Kohl's busload of savings on hundreds of items for back to school. Every jean is on sale, every style, every brand, like Levi's, Lee, Mud, LEI, Union Bay, and more. Plus save 30% on Nike athletic shoes, 30 to 50% on graphic tees, and get a $10 reward for every $50 in purchases. Kohl's busload of savings sale, Thursday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Fits your wallet, schedule, style.
Cholesterol. It comes grilled, fried, slow-cooked, and twice-baked. But did you know it also comes from Mom, Dad, Grandma Ethel, or Grandpa Sam? Your bad cholesterol doesn't just come from food. It's also produced naturally by your body, based on heredity. So, now you know, everyone's bad cholesterol comes from two sources, food and family. If you're having a hard time lowering your cholesterol, ask your doctor about the two sources of cholesterol.
Tuesday, The Real NYPD. NYPD 24/7.
I think one of the most exciting things about America is you can be freer here to express yourself than almost anywhere else in the world. So many of us are so different from one another. I get up every day thinking that something is going to happen in the world that I didn't know about yesterday, and I have the opportunity to help people understand what it means. This is a really hopeful nation, and I think there's a great beauty in that.
World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Trust is earned.
Perfect homes, perfect lawns, the perfect place to hide a secret. Something is buried on Wisteria Lane. Desperate Housewives, Sundays this fall on ABC. Sunday, it's the #1 new drama of the summer everyone is talking about, The Days.
A 40-year-old mom and her 17-year-old daughter find out they're pregnant on the same day. What is that? I'm not 40 yet.
The Days is being called clever and engaging.
Do you think everything happens for a reason?
Intelligent and feel good. A family drama worth rooting for.
If you decide to keep this baby and raise it, I'll be there for you all the way.
An all-new The Days, right after Extreme Makeover Home Edition, Sunday 10/9 Central on ABC.
America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining.
Find out what you can do. Contact Volunteers of America today.
Some animals adapt quite naturally to our homes, but others should remain in their homes. Wildlife belongs in the wild, not in a cage or basement. Exotic animals carry dangerous diseases such as salmonella, monkeypox. They can injure or even kill your family or neighbors. Keep our communities safe by not purchasing exotic animals. If you want an animal companion, go to your local shelter and adopt a dog or cat. To find out more, contact the Fund for Animals.
Ladies' nights. You know what they are. Those nights where bars offer women special deals to get more of them to come inside along with the men, and it works. So, John, why are you saying, give me a break?
Because some people want to ban ladies' nights. Why? Lots of people get special deals. There are senior citizen discounts, student discounts. But now, some state officials say ladies' nights are unlawful because they discriminate against men.
Once again, welcome to Ladies' Night at the Gaslight.
At this bar on Tuesdays, women get free food. I couldn't find any men who minded.
I just think it's a great way to socialize. It's a great way to meet people.
At this club, women get drinks for half price. Again and again, the men were happy, and the women weren't complaining.
Ladies' night, it's a reason to get the ladies out.
But it's wrong and against the public interest, says this man, activist law professor John Banzaf. He helped bring the lawsuits against tobacco, and he sued the fast food industry for making us fat. His students sued to get ladies' nights banned in Washington, D.C., and Banzaf says they should be banned everywhere.
Ladies' nights are not in the public interest?
No. Any situation where you openly discriminate on the basis of gender, where you wouldn't based upon race or religion or national origin, sends the incorrect message that gender discrimination isn't as serious or as wrong as race or other discrimination.
But these men hardly look upset that they're being discriminated against. Still, Banzaf points out sex discrimination is against the law. And in New Jersey, one man filed a formal complaint, and the state's Department of Law and Public Safety said these ladies' nights must end. Which should make us think about how many laws we have, because ladies' nights are a long and useful tradition. Bar owners point out that men and women want different things. More men like to go to bars.
There's always more men than women.
Frank Cementa says he runs a ladies' night at his bar to equal the odds.
Instead of going into a club where there's 70% men and 30% women, one night a week they can come out where it's 50-50 roughly.
But Christos Mortos, now fearful of what authorities might do to him, has stopped holding a ladies' night, ending a 25-year tradition.
Ladies' night was never about the ladies, it's always about the men.